Alright guys, welcome back. Another Asdivine walkthrough. We were just defeating the monster over there, blocking the way. Now we're gonna go track down this statue and destroy it. We're looking for Nocturne, rather. Okay, so we are looking to find Nocturia. And we're gonna go down here. Walk over to this side. It's gonna place you right here, and then you can simply walk down a little bit. There we go. Now we'll run in here and grab the chest on this side. And walk back. And if you walk over onto this arrow pad, it's going to push you all the way back up to the top, and you're going to have to walk all the way back down. You cannot keep walking while you're being pushed upwards, which is kind of a weird thing about this game. You think like on any other kind of platformer game that has push pads usually lets you walk on it, but nope, not this game. So let's watch here. We're up here now. Now I have to walk back down. Let's go over here. Okay, now let's run back up here. And over to the right-hand side. Okay, so let's go ahead and run up here. And then we'll run down and grab this chest. Or a chest, I should say. With our experience jewel. And our MP plus 16 jewel. Awesome. Now we're going to run up these stairs and go over here and down. And then let's go down some more. Huh. The floor here looks to be unstable in certain places. We should proceed with caution. Yes, so that means the floor, yes, the floor is this break. You can see that. Okay, so let's run over here and grab this chest. Get the cell key, nice. Now go down, continue running down, and then over to the left-hand side. Now we're gonna walk up. And let's loop back and grab the chest. There we go. Run back up. Okay, and continue to run up here. And we can go over to the right-hand side, and there is a cell door that we will be able to unlock. This door looks like one for a prison cell. Let's just hope the key will work. Zach, is there any way to treat a door? I heard they turn the lock when it claps like that. You'd almost think it was made for second-hand materials. Well, whatever. Let's just go already. And Zach getting picked on. Let's go over here. Alright, so let's keep running down here. And then let's continue going down a little bit more and over to the right-hand side, and we can heal up here. Now, there are some cool items we can get over here, but we're going to keep going on. I will unleash your power. Farther here, Zach, now stand by me. Alright. What was that? There's no need to be surprised. I simply created a warp between here and the entrance. As for Noct, I can feel him close by. Let's hurry. Okay, so before we get to this fight, I would recommend everyone has a trust gauge charged back up. It may have drained from the last time you fought, but by now you should have it pretty much charged up. Mine was very close. I did like one extra fight, and I got mine charged up. So we're gonna go ahead and enter the Noct battle here. We did it. We made it. Now is everyone ready for the fight? More than ready. Lumia. I see we finally meet again after all this time, Noct. So, how do you like Rivera, a world where the only deity exists and you are forgotten? I don't know. Hearing it come from your mouth just lets me know how much you've come to hate me. What? However, despite what you think of me, I have a role to fulfill as a deity. Now return my crest to me. Did you not hear me, Noct? Move. What a dirty trick that was. Silence, human. You must be able to understanding my thinking, Lemire, yet I cannot fathom why you keep these meddling humans at your side. This is all their fault. Please end this grudge, Shadow Deity. What is it you think Felix doesn't understand? If you've got something to say already, then say it. Did I not tell you to be silent? Hey, Felix, seems like he wants you to notice something pretty bad. Any idea what he's talking about? Like, I know. Why should I care to think about when he's the one trying to kill me? Good point. Well, what's going on? His magic is getting stronger. You, a deity, allowing yourself to be deceived by these humans, it seems destroying them is the only way to bring you to your senses. These people are my friends. I won't allow you to harm them. You cannot stop me. You're going to be so stubborn, then we'll have to beat some sense into you. Is this the only way? Alright, well, so this is actually fairly straightforward fight. But we're going to treat it like the other fights. Hopefully we don't get too hit. No, we actually didn't get fevered, which is good. So we're going to go ahead and buff our characters again and treat it like the other fights. This Noct has Levitate. He also has, he's Dark, a Shadow character. So we'll go ahead and buff our lines. Line guard at first. Be good. And go ahead and buff again. And we'll go with another, I think this time we're going to go with a line attack up. And as usual, easy mode Uriel is going to save the day. And with Celine, we'll go ahead and use a War Dance. I think we have enough stamina to do that. Nope, we don't. We don't have enough skills. Okay. Well, we can use an attack up then on this side. And everyone should be pretty buffed up at this point. We have a Noctis paralyzed, can't do anything. And a full skill charge on Zac, which is going to be incredibly useful here. The Shining Blade. Actually, you know what? Since the buff he had, we'll go ahead and use our Holy Lighting instead. Something didn't work. Let's go ahead and do that set. I thought it was I thought it was weak against magic, but I guess apparently it was reversed. It's okay. Well, we have to do physical attacks from here on out, so we can go ahead and do your rolling swipes. Or tail cutter here. And Ariel, go ahead and use. I'm in charge. Celine, we can use our Dragon Fang. It's gonna be insane here. Beautiful. And Zac, go ahead and use our Shining Blade. Enough is enough with Stella. 11,000 damage, pretty good. And we have Felix up again. We'll go ahead and have him use his tail cutter. Awesome damage there. Both characters doing some really good damage. Now, with Celine, we don't have enough to do another Dragon Fang, unfortunately. We can, however, do a Fan Crush. That'll give Zac another time to charge up a Shining Blade. But it looks like we won't even need it because we're going to use another Enough is Enough. And Felix, we can use a tail cutter again. And that should be the end of it. There we go, pretty simple. That was a much easier fight than you may have been prepared for, but if you think this is the end of the game, you are not. You are sadly or maybe pleasantly mistaken. So we're gonna go have some more dialogue here. Your efforts are futile. Ugh, my body, it's too heavy to move. You've got to do something. Think, self. 1 year ago, he suggested we direct humans to increase their faith in him, but doing so, it would have tipped the balance of power in this world. For being so young, I am impressed by your faith. As of lately, the number of people believing in the deities has waned, so it's refreshing to meet those like you. Deities, I can't take much more of this. This is the end for me, you, and the world. Now I will show you the world I have created. So how do you like Rivera? A world where only one deity exists and you are forgotten. These are flashbacks Zach's having. Shadow deity, you still attempting to defy me? You humans are more obstinate than I imagined. You're scared of a future where you cease to exist? That's why you wanted Felix to understand, isn't it? That is it. Huff huff, that's the truth, isn't it? But how could you? Is this really the truth, Noct? Tell me. How ironic, rather than being understood by the one I sought acceptance from the most, it was none other than a foolish human who recognized my plight. It's not too late. If you have something to tell Felix, I am past that point. But why? Because there is no longer a future, and Asdivine Lumiere failed to understand me, therefore, everything must be remade from the beginning. What do you plan to do? Destroy Asdivine and instate Rivera as the central world. What? Rivera's faith in me is much stronger than in Asdivine, and it is here I can remake the world from the beginning, and why it must become the central world. What are you saying? You can't just destroy Asdivine. Do you have any idea how many people would die? Just because you're a deity doesn't give you the right to do anything you please. I disagree. In the grand scheme of things, everything has an end, and if Asdivine disappears, so does all its hatred, sadness, and pain. Wait, Noct! Wait. What guarantee is there you can actually place Rivera as a central world if you destroy Asdivine? The existence of this world is strong and therefore a prime candidate. If it fails to work, then all of us will cease to exist and we must accept our fate. Do not do that. I will not allow you to interfere this time, Lumiere, and when Rivera has been established as the central world, I will come for you. Noct. Felix. I don't understand what it is Noct wants from me. What is it in Rivera that isn't in Asdivine is strong faith? I think that's what he wanted you to understand. Did you once say if people cease to believe in you, you could no longer exist? Asdivine's faith in the deities is dwindling, especially in regards to the shadow deity. In comparison to Rivera, you're right. Even still, all is not lost for Asdivine. Are you really so certain about it? I don't know about the rest of you, but I have a hard time being thankful to the shadow deity for the death he brings. Me too. Unless someone is completely suicidal, I think the majority of people would rather be grateful to the light deity, being the source of life. Very good point. I think you're missing the truth here. It's because of both life and death there is existence. Both light and shadow are deserving of things. What do you mean by that? I cannot create something out of nothing. The souls of all living things are in constant circulation. I give life to souls, and when they die, God gathers them and purifies them. After that, they can then again have the breath of life blown into them. That's the role of a deity. Now I understand more fully why faith in both of you is so vital. But if nobody knows that, they'll only be grateful for the life they see granted by the light deity. The even bigger problem is nobody knows this, and why Felix received people's faith in the shadow deity didn't. Then the cause of our contention was over this. By not realizing the shadow deity's predicament, you denied him his desire to receive increased faith in himself. Without faith, he would cease to exist, right? Knowing this must have weighed heavily on his mind. I had no idea. And nobody's blaming you for it either. I think the shadow deity was expecting too much for you to realize. If anything else, our dwindling belief in you two was also a big part of the problem. But what do you think, Celine? With the Queen's help, Do you think we can fix this? At present, the policy is not to interfere with how people live their religion. However, knowing what we do now, I believe Her Majesty could be persuaded. Mandatory religion. Still, I wonder if we have sufficient time to turn around. Well, make it work. I believe the situation can be rectified as well if we all do our part. How is it you're so willing to help me on a whim? What are you talking about? This is not a whim. This is us making a decision to help a companion. Companions certainly are helpful in times of need, aren't they? You know it. Now, what you say we go back to Asdivine ASAP? Good idea. Nock must believe we can't cross back and forth between both worlds, but with Zax here, it is now a possibility. I take it has to do with me being a light potency, huh? So, how does it work? You simply stand in place and let me open a portal. Now come over here. Here it goes. The portal is now open. Well, that looks surprisingly simple. That's because of Zack being so close to me. Everyone's like, no, don't be close to Zack. So, we got on this pinnacle and say goodbye to Rivera, huh? That reminds me, though. What will happen to the history that was changed here? With Nock having returned to Asdivine, we can safely assume it's been repaired. Repaired? In other words, those here will forget everything what happens? No. Those who we were more fully involved with should remember everything, including Luna and Mars. About Julius and Vanessa, let's forget about them. Well, that's certainly a kind way of putting it. I just have a hard time dealing with people like that, that's all. At any rate, let's return to Asdivine. You said it. Alright, now before we do that, we're going to go here and grab a chest, because why not? Alright, as I was saying, grab the chest. We got some blue jewels, and then we can run over here. My health is pretty much full, so I'm not going to go ahead and worry about recharging it. Now, if we step over this portal, we'll be transporting back to Asdivine, and we'll get some more cutscenes. So, let's go! Ow, that's smart. Where is this? If you don't get off me this instant, kitty cat, I'm really going to rub you the wrong way. No, anything but that! This is just my conviction, but we have not returned to... Have we not returned to Arnold Temple? The patterns on the walls are similar. Speaking of, they do, don't they? You must have a good eye, because I wouldn't have remembered it without you mentioning it. That's what I call superhuman memory. It's nothing special. I merely noticed the pattern by accident, is all. Speaking of, were we really able to return to Asdivine? Felix powers are one thing, but being a light potency is amazing. The shadow potency, we could have been able to return here with even less difficulty. On the topic of potency, you said there was one for both light and shadow. I wonder who the other potency is then. They have not awoken to the realization of who they are, so I am unable to detect them even myself. But there's a high possibility we may have already encountered them. What do you mean by that? Potency have superior powers to normal humans slumbering within them, and why they are attracted to each other. Attracted to each other? So what you're saying is they have a deep bond together. If you're looking for some concrete examples, I can think of a pair who are married and another who fought side by side in a historic battle in the past. Did you say married? I will not allow it. Nobody is going to waltz in and snatch my Zack. I don't care if they are a shadow potency. Waltz in, huh? Sounds like a ballerina. Conversely, it could also mean this same person who has not spent a considerable amount of time in their presence could have a chance of true love. That doesn't sound bad either. Celine. Who is it you're referring to? There was no inference to you, or to anyone. I should also mention it's not all sugar and rainbows like you imagined. It's a possibility they could even despise one another or take the other's life. Take the other's life? That's terrible. Well, whoever the shadow turns out to be, rest assured I won't be the one to take their life. That's not my style, regardless of what someone else does. With a person only getting one chance at life, what right do we have to take it away? Your naivety shows, but I don't dislike you for it. At any rate, it's time we got to taking action. First, Nock's ultimate goal is the destruction of Asdivine, for that this next move will likely be to tip the balance of power in this world to the side of the shadow. And the quickest way to do that is cause the deaths of as many people as possible. As a deity, however, he can't do it himself, so what's the best workaround? That would require someone with great power. Don't tell me he's planning to use Queen Gloria. The potential is definitely there in her case. Her Majesty, Olivia! We should hurry to Gutenberg Castle. Right. What about the portal connecting our worlds? Leave it until it closes by itself. If anything else, the influence coming from the other world is minimal at best. But to alleviate your worries, I placed a seal on it. That way only we'll be able to use it. Then it sounds like we're good. I also created this pinnacle to warp us to the entrance of the temple. Now, hurry and get on. Good thinking, Felix. Now let's hurry. Meanwhile, in the castle... Your Majesty, if your sister and others are with the light deity, I have no doubt they are safe. Please try and rest. I will see to it. Your men keep up their search. Yes, I suppose that's best. If Celine were here, she would know how to comfort her Majesty in her time of need, but please try not to distress. It'll only allow the powers of shadow to creep in. I apologize. You are now all free to go. I will try to rest as you have suggested in a short while, Olivia. However, understood. It's been a week. It's been a weeks now. Okay, so it's been weeks. Now since contact with Celine and the others was lost, I want to believe you're safe somewhere, but... Lawrence, I see your uneasiness concerning the future, therefore, allow me to lend my powers to yours. Oh dang, got evil Queen Gloria. I see you have greater power than I had first anticipated, and this physical body will be useful for my purposes. What is this magic I sense? How do Lemire and the others return to this world? However, it is of no consequence. Legion. Yes, Master. We will use this woman's influence to capture Lemire and those with her. As for you, make for the temple I have specified and begin preparations to take control of this world. It shall be done. I would not let you thwart my plans, Amir, nor your human friends. Quest added. Okay, so we're about to go back and try to save the world, and the Shadow Deity is quickly taking over by possessing Queen Gloria. So lots happening. If you take a look at the map, we're supposed to go back to Gutenberg Castle, and there will be a lot more talking. So hope you guys enjoyed that. That is enough for this video, I believe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.